MJF, who apparently has something written to his contract where he gets to open every show, because I think this is like almost every show but one he has opened. Whatever's on before, Big Bang, whatever, the Warner Brothers thing comes up at the end, the credits from last show, every single time since he's come back, it feels like MJF has opened the show. Nice spot to be in. And Kyle Fletcher has really started to win me over for what he brings to the table. The MJF stuff, I think it's a little over the top at times with this American thing, and it's low-hanging fruit. But I much rather this version of MJF that we've seen since the turn than any of the babyface stuff we saw last year. He's way more valuable in that way. But they have a hell of a match. And I will say this. MJF is doing what he's supposed to be doing as a heel. But he also, we're now seeing him work a bit more. He's really good. And I think people are starting to get that if they didn't. Because he didn't wrestle that much for like the first couple years. He just didn't. And like I've always said, matches don't matter nearly as much as people say they do. It's about appearing. It's about being consistently on television, presented a certain way, talking. Like, it wasn't about MJF's matches. But I will tell you from working with him on the indies, and now what we're seeing, he's a hell of a worker. And him and Kyle Fletcher had a hell of a match last night. I will say one thing I really liked. Kyle Fletcher, they have the stuff on the outside. And Kyle does the dive into the crowd. I mean, he is going full blast, dives in the crowd, and they get with it. For a guy who's aligned with Don Callis, even though I think more people like him because he's the best friend of Will Ospreay, he goes into the crowd, they spill out, and the crowd starts the AEW chant. Tony tweeted about it, of course, as he should, whatever, hype the show. And he sat there. This is a lesson for young wrestlers out there. And he waited, and he let them come up more, and he soaked it in, and he posed for them. And they were with Kyle Fletcher. And then as the match continued, they're doing his chants. They're with him more. Right before the dive, I want to shout this out because it's happened a lot of times recently, and I don't think it gets talked about enough how important it is. MJF was being a dick and playing to the crowd and messing with people and all that stuff. Tony Schiavone is so good at calling out and showing and expressing his disgust for heels like MJF. He's done it with Mariah May. He's done it with plenty others. It goes back to 1996 Bash at the Beach. Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell. You can go straight to hell. There is a level of that matters more coming from Tony Schiavone. He has that level of respect. He's seen everything. Even in 1996, he had been doing it for a long time, and he's the straight man. He always had to be the play-by-play guy and call the action, and, you know, the opinions were about what the heel was doing. Not over the top. You feed to your color commentator. That's what a good play-by-play guy does. They don't have a lot of their own opinions. They're calling the action. They're supposed to be neutral. You feed to Bobby the Brain. That's what Gorilla Monsoon did. He would keep Brain in check. JR would keep the King in check. Cole would keep Graves in check, or Tom Phillips would keep Graves in check. That's how that worked. You feed to your color guys. But Tony, as that third voice, that voice of the veteran voice, which is a newer kind of role in the commentary booth. JR played that a little bit, you know, at times. He's done it in AEW. He did a little bit during the back end of his tenure in WWE, where it's the respected voice. Excalibur's the straight guy on commentary, or should be. He's calling the action. He's directing traffic. They don't really have that heel commentator. Nigel's the closest, a heel siding. Taz is very, I get it, I'm analytical. Tony is the babyface color commentator, but can do some play-by-play stuff, but he has that respected voice. I love when Tony calls out a heel because it matters more. I love when he does it to Stokely. I love when he does it to MJF. I love with Mariah May. When it's deserved and Tony calls it out, he is selling how despicable they are. And when it comes from Tony, it seems to mean more because everybody likes Tony Schiavone. That only adds to the character. I don't need Don Callis on commentary for all of his guys' matches, but I will say I thought he did a pretty good job in this match until the screwdriver thing. He made some very good points about both guys. He called out MJF for his actions, good and bad. He talked about Kyle when he was playing to the crowd. He's got to get back in the ring. I like that. I think some of Don in New Japan did a lot. Like when he was really good, he was really good. When he was bad, I thought it hurt the product. I think it can hurt the product. But I think he makes some good points. I thought he was very good on the match last night. Now, Don gets pissed about not a 3 count. So he goes down to the ring. He comes off commentary. And here comes the screwdriver again. And he gets it to Kyle. And he's distracting the ref. And it's just very, basic shit. Kyle goes to use it. No. And the crowd pops. Okay. He's with more Ospreay than he is a Don Callis guy. I'm okay with that. Tosses it away. Kick to the nuts. MJF beats him. You saw what happened after the fact. He gets beat on more. Right there, I don't like it as much because not only does he look dumb, he looks dumber for not using it. I get it. He wants to be someone who wins the right way. He doesn't want to cheat. He wants to earn that shot at the international title, the American title, whatever. I get that. But to get kicked in the nuts immediately, and then get beat on even more after that, then it made him look dumb. And then they had the thing with Will trying to fight to the door, and I don't know, maybe more should have been put in front of the door or whatever. Here's my other thing, and I would love this to be addressed. This should be on Tony's Twitter or Shot for TV. MJF hit Paul Turner, the referee, with his title. Square in the head. There has to be repercussions for that. Now, I say that, and I go, well, has there been repercussions for Christopher Daniels laying at the feet of the Elite the night of Blood and Guts? Now, I'll give him an out if they want one. The EVPs let it happen, whatever. And I don't even think that's an out. Something should happen to him. You should fine him, whatever. And you could fine him a bunch of money and then go, cool, I'm the richest guy in the company. I can afford it. That's fine. But there's got to be repercussions for hitting a referee. Not pushing a ref or whatever. He hit him in the head with a title. If he's a heel, give me a reason to say, hey, wait a minute, he can't do that. No. And then Ospreay comes out and Callis is yelling at him. Where were you? What kind of shitty manager are you, dude? You're his manager. You felt the need to go sit on commentary. Why are you relying on someone who left your group to go take care of one of your guys, even if they are best friends? Just in story, it makes Callis look like a shitty manager because he doesn't care about anybody else. That's fair. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the Wrestling Mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette. And
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMatt23 on both Twitter and Instagram.